How's it going, guys? Chris back here again with some more Historic Brawl. Now, today, we're actually looking at one of the first decks on the channel to reach a third iteration. Now, its commander has changed a bunch, so it's not really the same deck as it was, right? Its first iteration was, it's a dog from Kamigawa. I know his name starts with S, but I'm forgetting it. The second one was a Gruul, not a Gruul, Boros commander. And now we have Skrelv, Mite Defector, as our commander for 1-drop Tribal. Now, 1-drop Tribal is a joke deck that I built on the channel a bunch. And the ideal of it is that somehow we achieve victory with our 1-mana creature. I think I get down the Snubhorn and we hold up the Tithe to make this hit a little less hard. So if they have a 1-mana spell, we're okay. But this is still pretty bad. We had to run into Light Paws first. I was hoping to run into like a dirtly deck. That would have been slow. So the ideal with Skrelv being our new commander is he's actually really good in the deck because if you build around him with your 1-mana cards, like Access Tunnel, you can win the game in 10 combats. Now that's unlikely, but it is possible. Let's see if our Mana Tithe paid off. I hope it did. They might have another one. Oh, we don't have the mana. Never mind. Punts all around, punts all around. But I guess we didn't have another land to play anyway, so we wouldn't have had double white this turn anyways, although we could have gone with Inquisitive Puppet with Access Tunnel and then left up the Mana Tithe, and that would have been the correct play, but no, we did not think of that. Well, there's Crawley. So do we want to do it right this time? Our opponent's just too quick. I think that our dream is done. If they play like a... problem with Mana Tithe with protection is it doesn't get any better. We are just dying. Well, that's an unfortunate start. But I'm sure that we'll be able to do something. Like, 1-drop Tribal tends to be a pretty unfortunate video because our restriction is very heavy. I should have countered that. I guess we protect the Snubhorn. Yes, the ore you get has to go on. This deck has an absurd amount of mana relative to its curve, right? And we just have not drawn it. That is very sad. Hormite. And Elcid. bag because our mana is surprisingly rough. I had not considered that having a land that taps for colorless would be such an issue, but we do have. Ew. I mean, we are just dead, opponent. No need to name names. We know the silence has been achieved. Ignore the quest. I've been playing exclusively white, which is not the color Arena wants me to play today or yesterday. But my standard deck needed some good playtesting. This is good. So we'll start with him because Skrelv can make him unblockable. He's the only other 1 mana toxic creature that we have access to in Skrelv's colors. He's a tiny bit of redundancy, but technically unnecessary. So our goal is to count to 10, as with any good Infect deck. Maybe a little bit too early. Like, we could probably got Gwyn if we had waited, but it's not how these type of decks work, right? Yes, we also don't like decks with a bunch of colors because Skrelv can only give protection from a single color, right? And the ideal is that we win with Skrelv by either using his ability to attack through with a crawling course or just attacking through with spells, right? We'll leave up the 1 mana to cycle. Unfortunately, there aren't any other cycling cards at the 1 mana slot, so his ability is not great. But he is technically a redraw, which is pretty good for us. Has our opponent correctly sussed out our plan of attack? Or is he looking at all the 1 mana symbols and thinking, why have you done this? Darn. I'll take 6. And then we'll venture into a dungeon. So the poison is taken up. Have we found the cracked secret to 1-drop rival? Maybe. This is another way to give toxic. One drop tribal did it. We do occasionally get a win with one drop tribal. Like, it's not impossible. And I think that Skrelv is actually decent enough to make it fairly reasonable to get a win with it. So the way you do, generally you have to count to 25, right? Because you're attacking with one drop creatures that are generally 1/1s or 2/1s or at best 2/2. Actually, at best you can get a 3/3, but that's with I do like this. We'll take this. I did question the use of cards like Faerie Godmother or Guidemother that technically well, our plan is Skrelv anyway, so we don't really care. This just lets us sort, right? And one of the problems is that we need to get Skrelv to hit 10 times. And I used as much removal and evasion as I could find, but we still don't have a lot. Vraska. And I think I'll throw down the Venerable Knight. So we can pay life to protect something with Skrelv too. Like, he also is in protection himself. So maybe we can just count to 20, but that's unlikely. Misclick. That's real bad. Resolve. So they have to destroy Skrelv, because nothing else will be destroyed. I mean, they can just draw a card. Watch you aim at, opponent. Black? Put down the Grafdigger's Cage and the Tragic Poet. We are... This one feels like the lost cause, but you never know. Our opponent is land stuck. They're sacrificing their cards to draw cards. Activated abilities can't be activated. Yeah, is that an activated ability? I don't know. I think we're doing okay. Lay Down Arms is a 1-mana spell that technically is good in the deck, but it's also kind of rough, if I'm being honest. Audio Skrelv. Painful. We do get a 1/1 flyer though. We have performed like an actual deck. Yeah, I don't really want to pay 3 mana for 5 life for a 1/1. Painful Quandary is just insanely good against our deck.
Everyone is expendable, except me.
Yeah, I guess we kill ourselves here. Does Skrelv eat another Vraska? Yeah, he does. Good for him. Mite is a okay backup. There was no guarantee that we would draw it, but yeah, I got sad news for opponent. If they expect us to kill a Junji, they're gonna have to wait a bit because we are not that we're not that stacked. That's a good way to get rid of a Junji. I haven't seen Vraska deck in a while. She's a neat planeswalker. It's just there are other Golgari commanders that do similar things, right? But they do it in a more contained process. Oop. GG opponent. Look at all these 1-mana spells we cast. We did pretty good, honestly. Nope. And it was all on Skrev's back. He was supposed to be the hero. They are going off. They have definitely had time to kill us. Yeah, Too many triggers. Too many triggers. The patience has been lost. I think one more game. We got 10 minutes, and one drop tribal will win or lose in 10 minutes. That's just how it works. So things to look forward to in the future of this deck. We want to get cards that have more consistency. So in future sets we'll look for either 1-mana spells that provide some kind of card advantage. Because our current card advantage package is mainly looting type effects, which are not the best. But at the same time they're not the worst, right? Like they're only so-so. I think Skrelv with Toxic 1 is slow for a kill condition for a standard deck, right? But for what we're trying to do, he's fine. Because I don't really want to implore for a future where there's a 1-mana card that can kill you in under 10 turns. Like, by itself, that would be a bit much. Yeah, so the plan is just to toxic our opponents out of the game. And if they realize that's the plan before and are able to deal with it, that's it, right? Like, that's the game. So they didn't have a third land, so they had to search it up with Ambitious Farmhand. That's the read, right? But, or what's that? You know, that was their turn 2. Would have been nice if we had gotten a cheaper tapper, but we didn't. If we had, we could have cursed Dovin and made it a little bit cheaper. I guess we could have God's Willing. God's Willing on white would have done the job.
It's hard to be a genius surrounded by lesser minds. So I think Thraben Inspector. Tap that. Go for the poison kill. So there's actually a 1-mana card that says that you can pay 3 tap it to add a counter to target permanent or player of a kind that they already have. And that's another way to get the Skrelv kill, right? So they went with the attack one. Fair enough. I will block. I'd rather they spend their turn on that than and I'll put a prospect down, and then I'll end my turn. This way we can tap something at their end step, and then our opponent is starting to get concerned about poison damage. If I fizzle this, it just goes away. It's sad that we lost the double tap, but I think that's fine. This is just a small example Okay, Dovin. Okay. Hawk's not a bad shout. Deal some poison damage.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people. I am almost sad to see you go.
We've counted up to 5. That's bad. Yeah, I wish I had more tappers. I think I have
Show them how
5?
you die.
I think the Wandering Emperor is a good shout. Oh, I should have equipped. If I equipped, I could have attacked. But I didn't. Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculously hard to get in now.
We must protect the people.
I don't know, I wonder how viable a Mite strategy is. Because there are a couple of Mite cards. But they're mostly in white and they're mostly not great. Like, a lot of your best unblockable cards come in blue, right? So I wonder if there's a blue-white build of Mites that you can make for Historic Brawl. Yeah, it's just a little bit... I think it's gotten away from us. I wonder if the initial... Because in theory, right, counting to 25 is harder than counting to 10 in damage, right? But the problem that we've ran into so far in the series, or in this episode, is that we only really have one creature counting, right? So that means that the clock is 10 turns. So you have to stay alive for 10 turns, which isn't very practical against decks that are as powerful as this, right? we did. But if you only have to count to 25 and you can have every creature to be useful in that regard, it becomes a lot easier. Plus, you don't have to hold up spells to overvalue a single creature, right? Like, if they die in combat, they die in combat. You don't really care. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.